Hello everybody, welcome back to Wappelville, and we're going to try this Fae Enchantress here. This is from Titan Forge. This was, well, kind of the same thing. This is from Highland Miniatures. You can see a little bit of a size different in the horsies, I guess. But we're going to be doing all kinds of really fun colors on this also. We got some critters on here. We got 1, 2, 3. So there's actually 4 bunnies and a fox on here. So we'll paint the bunnies, paint the fox. We got the Enchantress. I was going to try and do some pastel type colors, I guess you could say. See the references down there? Well, that might just be a little bit of an indication what it is we're going to be doing. Now, it's almost like I'll be doing a bit of a pre-glaze. I'm probably going to... how's about we get some of our violet out here? That would be good. Let's get this out there. Hey there, Landress. Doji. Nice to see you. Yeah, sorry that... Well, not so sorry for you. It's all fine. Doji, there's actually the cobalt teal out on the palette. It's sitting right over here. Actually, it's next to Severus Blue. So we have cobalt teal and Severus Blue out there together. Let me also try and snag something here. There's this. So I just sent this out. Hey there, Uber Yeti. Nice to see you. Well, it's still Monday here, so happy Monday, but happy Tuesday for sure for Doji. So yeah, well, we'll have to hit this with our anti-shine stuff as well. But that is the War Sphinx from One Page Rules. Yeah, it's One Page Rules. Now let me just get some of my filbert brushes out here. I'm just going to start to have at this, maybe. Start with some of the easy stuff here. We got our radiant green. We're going to get some of the Van Dyke brown out here too. So Doji, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to just have that be kind of part of the regular rotation these days. Nice to see Armored Wolf. So Armored Wolf, I'm glad that the dice bags are all working out. I know there's just a bazillion of them to do. And as soon as 4 or 5 of them are done, it's like, oh, well, that's great. Let's just get to the next 4 or 5. What I'm actually going to do here is I'm just going to go... I'm going to do this, and then we're going to do some glazy stuff on here. Because reasons. Let's just try that. So, Dozy, hope that you're doing well. Now, boy, Landress, I gotta tell you, after, that glue was just fine when I started using it. Now it just doesn't work at all. Everything just slides right off the plate. Even really big stuff that's practically covering almost the entire build plate. It's weird because it was totally fine when I first started using it. And now it just, it practically doesn't do anything, which is really weird. So I guess I'm just going to have to get myself that other more liquid type glue after all. One of the things that was supposed to show up today, which still has not arrived, so I might have to run off to, well, I doubt I'll have to run off and grab a package, but might still have to do that. Now here we got to be really careful on this little bunny over here, because otherwise we'll just shred him right off of that base. So let's be a little bit delicate on that. Hey there, Uber Yeti. Glad to see you here. So it's the glue for the printer. Remember I was telling you about the glue stick thing? And one, well, it releases really, really well, much better than the other one. And it was great when I used it on the first several prints. But now every print I try to use it on, the print just slides off of there, and obviously it creates spaghetti. So Landrest, it's a cold plate, and you definitely need to use glue with this. I mean, it even says it right there on the build plate, actually. It says you need to use glue with this. So yeah, it's a cold plate, and now there's other plates that I have like that. That Wham Bam plate, and I know I don't need glue on there because you're not even supposed to touch it. Like not even with nitro gloves. Hey there, Nurgle Matthew. So maybe if you're using a hot plate, it's different. Maybe if you're using a textured plate, but this is not a textured plate. And even if when you watch the videos, like the walkthrough videos of it, they're using the same glue sticks that I am. So here, let's keep going with our gray right here. Now I've got that Wham Bam thing. After Adepticon, I can really actually look at this stuff. I'll try and use that because that's got a texture to it. There's also the other side has a texture to it. So I can see, because there's two sides to each of these plates. But that's something that needs to be researched before I just use it. So Ubrieti, it's just it's the standard sort of flexible. I guess it must be. I think it might be metal because it is magnetized. So again, this is for the Bamboo X1. So nice to see you again, Nurgle Matthew. Alright, let's do this. So I think that Wham Bam might actually be a heated plate there, Landrust. Hey there, Arid. Nice to see ya. Everybody please give Arid a wave a follow. So again, I'm just kind of doing some of the lighter stuff here. And then we're going to come back in with some glazy type things. And just kind of change things up here. And we'll get the glazy things on our roses and also on the foxes and such. Alright, now let's see if we can do a little bit of glazy stuff here. Let's do some stuff with the foxes. Let me fire up my references over here. This one and this one. What was weird? Oh, these references, by the way, those are AI generated. I needed something real quick, and I said, all right, let's see what AI can do. And actually, this time around, actually made some nice ones. Not like the ones with the Balrog versus Gandalf, which were just weird. I mean, they were super weird. Hey there, Blades. I'll see you in a bit there, Doji. So Blades, great to see you. Glad that you got back with really no hassles or anything like that. Great to see you, of course. Here, let's do this. Now, Blades, were you thinking of maybe streaming on Friday? Everybody please give Blades81 a follow. Fox, fox, fox. Orange here. Not on the chest, but down here on the legs, because then those will get almost more of a black. Okay, so we got something here on our fox. Oh, okay. Those are feathers. I thought that was hair. That is not hair. I will just do this here, though. Why not? And then we'll a little bit of this on what's tantamount to the skin tone there. I think I've got. Oh, there's so it's riding like a big critter of some kind, but that would take a whole bunch of resin. All right. Now we got a couple of layers. There's a couple of layers there. Well, here we go. Yeah, Doji's gonna miss he's gonna miss his cobalt teal, which is gonna combo up with some phthalo green here. And let's do so. So there'll be some purples, there'll be some greens in here. Maybe even some more of the green there. Purples there, maybe the cloak and some kind of purple. Maybe we'll shift this a little bit to more of a Prussian blue. See you later there, Doji. We just started using some of the cobalt teal there. Now some of the Severus blue. Yeah, now, Landress does, how has M. Telly's been doing on his Tomb Kings there? Has he been doing what he's supposed to be doing and getting those guys painted, or has he been not quite keeping up with those guys? Go, maybe, yeah, no, I'm gonna go, no, back to some of the green here. Like so, and we'll just hit that with, again, with another bit of a glazy thing too. Here, let me get the cobalt teal into this a little bit straight away. That's real wet into wet right there. Yeah, that is very wet into wet. No problem there, Doji. And of course, Blades, if you wanted to share anything in the chat, please go ahead. And well, hopefully Cooper has is kind of like his usual post kennel self there, where he's all tuckered out from running around with all of his buddies for days and days. No, you know what? We'll do this here. Oh, I didn't put out the... boy, that really would have been the Palette of Doom if I had the Perline Crimson out here too. Might still do that. Who knows? So just throwing out some of this here violet. Just want to see... we're just going to try and figure out a color scheme. Oh, that is hair right there. Okay, so we'll do something with that. Now maybe we will go teal again on the end. But we'll start up here, maybe with something else. Maybe something more magenta like this. Yeah, we're gonna do something like this. Why the heck not? It's not usually something we get a chance to do here, so I'm gonna give that a shot. Here, let me get a little bit more of that quinacridone and magenta out here. And it is a little bit like butterfly wings, so I'm also going to try and maybe get some of the blue or turquoise out here. We'll just try and have that shifting and changing colors and whatevers. Let's do that over here. So we're working with the oil paints like always. Little different approach here, not doing the usual pre-glaze. That's why we're just kind of starting to add some of these colors in now, sort of after the fact. I might do that over here. Let me get some of the little bit thinner into that. And we're just starting to figure again, where do we want some of this stuff to go here? We want to have lots of wild color changes on this too. Gonna welcome in Denethor. Thank you so much. Denethor says, "See, I really knew this about the elves. They're all just nuts. I mean, that is a fashion strikeout right there. Check out this fashion. Look at that. Yeah, I heard that's very flammable and in fashion. You really had to go there, huh? So thank you so much, Denethor. Appreciate that. Hi there, Valfera. Nice to see you too." Yeah, Valfera, it's one of those holidays that Armored Wolf and I don't even know is happening, unless we need to go ship something or whatever, and we go, oh, I guess it's one of those kind of days. So hopefully everything is going a little bit better for you there, Valfera. Now, I was trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done. Huge surprise there, I know. I know that's a tremendous surprise. So Valfair, hopefully you're feeling a little bit better there, just kind of a little by little bit. Now we're going to change this around here. So we're kind of just going opposite worlds on things here. Well, maybe we'll do a dapple gray horse. Maybe we'll just do a white horse here. Probably going to try and get some bluish tones on it no matter what. So yeah, we're just kind of changing things around here. Didn't really know what it was that I wanted to do on this, so I'm just going to fool around with it. See how things go. I'm going to get even more of the green here with just a little touch of that. And let's go in here with this. Like I said, I'm just looking to have a whole bunch of wild color changes. I think the bunny, maybe I'll try and do a couple little different colors on the bunnies. Maybe some more of a white bunny or whatever. I don't know. So this is the Fae Enchantress. This is from Titan Forge Miniatures. We're gonna try some violets on. Oh yeah, let's get some. Maybe we'll change this to something more of a violet. I'm gonna get a little bit of the. Oh wow, that's gonna be very rich indeed. I'm just gonna go over that stuff. We'll just go back to it. Yeah, we'll do something like this. All kinds of crazy different colors here, just because reasons. We might even make that more of a violet out there. And let me get some of that quinacridone magenta there. So this is a little darker than that. Then we could make the horse's face and mane a little bit lighter or whatever, and then that would still sort of stand out. So I'm going to also hit this thing too. Things must be messy before they can be neat, of course. So yeah, I think I remember seeing his lizard men or something like that. But again, you see these AI references down there? Those were really handy. It really it came up aces there with those. The last time I tried using it, it was kind of whatever. But this time around, it actually came up with some very useful stuff. So I was glad about that. I saw those. I said, oh yeah, that would work out really well. So we'll get some of the Indian yellow, a little bit of our Terra Rosa there. So the ears are, so a little bit of blonde on the horsey there. Maybe we'll get some of that on that little bunny over there. Let me see if I can get something lighter on this bunny over here. And get some of the asphaltum into that. And we'll try to get this one a little later. We'll probably be doing some kind of glazy thing on him too. Just want to be able to at least see where the bunnies are for right now. Okay, fine. Maybe a little bit of the quinacridone magenta, and I'm just going to throw that in on the roses. You know what? Got to do that on these two. These are the oxalis plants. Let's get these leaves here. Oh, that's a bunny, not an oxalis plant. Okay. Let's leave him alone. Leaf here, another leaf there, flower over here. That's fantastic. Boy, Night Whisper. Now, are there? I guess there's some more expansions to that Blood Rage. I think all I have. I think they might have sent the original one here, and that's it. So I don't have anything beyond that. So yeah, if you want to ski-daddle off there and get some pictures, Oval Fair, if you want to share pictures of your dragon, please go ahead and do that. So we just, here's another one of our Bretonians here. So that one's the lady. This one, there's a shortened version of this up on the YouTube channel now. And of course, you know what? Let me see if I can grab him here. And it's neat to see this lad here with all of his foliage right there. So that was the first of our Pegasus nights. That was really fun doing that one. Now, Valfira, there's nothing ready for Adepticon. There's all the terrain that's got to be painted and everything else. The Adepticon, that usually starts in December. Unfortunately, here I haven't been able to do any of the committee meetings or anything like that just because of obviously all the craziness. And then, well, then the no vehicle business and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's been no chance to do anything for Adepticon. I won't even be fooling around with anything for Adepticon probably till March. Because there's so many other things to do, right? Thanks, Night Whisper. Here, let me get some more of the asphaltum right here. Fortunately, Valfira, there's no classes or anything like that. I mean, it really is just me doing the demos in Fort Wappel. So it's pretty much just getting ready for that. So the challenge will be getting things like that terrain painted for him and that sort of stuff. Hopefully we can get all that done. Hey, Wolfenstein. So Wolfenstein, I don't really use Discord at all. That's something, hopefully, as the year goes on, maybe I get a chance to figure that out a little bit more. But yeah, if you were to message me on Discord or something like that, you'd be waiting a real long time for a response, which might be forever. I have an account that it pretty much stops there. Pretty much ends right about there. Oh, speaking of here, let me get some of that asphaltum over here. So we're just kind of playing around with colors, seeing what happens here. You know what? How's about we grab this here? We grab this here, and we start doing this here. And let's see what kind of mix we're going to get with our cobalt teal and, well, our quinacridone magenta here. So instead of a whole bunch of layers, hashtag no layers. Alright, see that? And maybe this is this is why we're not really concerned, right, Valfira? Because, well, look at this. Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, it's makes life kind of easy, doesn't it? So that's literally blending some kind of magenta type color right into teal directly with no fuss, no muss, right? More of that cobalt. So of course Doji is gonna. Oh my goodness, Doji is literally gonna just be he's gonna be so sad that he is missing the debut of his favorite color here, where it's really being kind of put to the test. So this is another reason why I didn't really bother doing a standard pre-glaze, because I knew I was going to want to do this kind of wild and crazy stuff. And again, we already have ourselves a little bit of a blend there. Boy, Valfira, the autocorrect monster is it's a fickle and terrifying creature, isn't it? It really is. He is a fickle fiend, is he not? What is it, Uber Yeti? Was it? Oh, a picture says 1,000 words or something like that. And one oil brush stroke is worth 1,000 acrylic brush strokes. It sure seems like it, doesn't it, Uber Yeti? Hey, Bithron. So Bithron, hopefully that idea of doing the metallics there kind of gives you some leeway as far as what you wanted to do with the skin and everything else on that figure. So great to see you again there, Bithron, of course. Appreciate you being here. So here again, we've got almost like a little bit of a bluish highlight there on that. We're going to do the same over here. So look at the end of that brush there. So Wolfenstein, nice to see you again. I hope that everything is going well. And say hello to everybody there for me too. There we go. A little more of that. We'll get some of the radiant green out there too. So, again, does it get any easier than that? I'm trying to think how it does. Not sure that it can. Get a little more of my blue working into there. Okay, let's grab ourselves another one here. Oh yeah, blades. More and more of the brushes that you sent me, those kind of keep getting they're getting used up. I think I'm already on my 4th one now, or something like that. Yeah, so hopefully that brownish skin tone worked out there. Bithron. Can I get all the way to yes, I can. No. Again, so we're just starting to add some lighter colors in here. We're going to let that work its way into some of the violet over there. So again, lots of color changes and transitions here. Oh, good, Doji. This was just the cobalt teal bluish right there, and I just dry brushed it over this, and see how it just mixed into everything? This is another reason why I thought I could get away without a pre-glaze here, because it sort of let me, there's no ultra wet paint or anything like that down in those crevices, so it kind of facilitated this a little bit more, and this was another thing that I kind of had in mind. So that kind of worked out the way I was hoping. Let me snag a little bit more. We'll still go lighter than this too, but just trying to get some of this stuff in place here. Okay, so a little bit of you in there. And over here too. So again, all kinds of fun colors. What is this, 36 minutes in? 36 minutes ago, how much was on here? There was nothing. There was zippo, nada, zilch. Well, Doji, because it is so... I mean, it's the Terra Rosa of teal. Alright, since it is so opaque, I mean, look at how it covered there. I mean, it almost is. It's like it's part radiant, it's part Terra Rosa. It's got a lot of stuff going for it, doesn't it? Also, we got a lot of filbert brushes going for us. And again, we are playing around with a little bit of our quinacridone magenta here. Let me see what this will do over here. Ah, there we go. Look at that. So we literally have the magenta and the radiant green playing side by side with each other there, mixing together. And of course, again, credit AI with the ideas down there. This is why I did that video, remember, suggesting that, maybe think about this, using this AI thing when you're kind of thinking of looking for ideas or concepts or whatever. All I did was I typed in Fae Enchantress riding a unicorn with rabbits and foxes running alongside. That was all I typed, and that's what it put out there. And those images have been pretty handy to work from. I would say, not too shabby. So again, it gave me some ideas. I was kind of wondering, like, what the heck could I do with this? And those color schemes were not something that I would have just thought of. So again, let that do some work for you. And again, now this one is from Titan Forge. This is from Titan Forge. You'll be seeing other Titan Forge Bretonians too, eventually. Yeah, nope, we're gonna need something smaller to sneak our way in there. How's about this thing? Let's try this. Where's my magenta here? Minus that piece of fuzz over there. Okay. Yeah, Green Fairy Studios. I can totally sympathize with that. But it's almost Tuesday. We got 40 minutes here. Well, 42 minutes technically, till it's a happy Tuesday here. So we've got a few interesting combos here. We got Cobalt Teal Bluish. We got Chronacodone Magenta. We got Phthalo Green. We have all kinds of wild colors going on here. So Green Fairy Studios, great to see ya. So Green Fairy, I don't know if you saw the new video, but that was really fun. Now here we go. Look at this. Look at that. So we're getting a little bit of that magenta down in the shadows here. For a green, that's again Doji. This we're talking about the not doing the usual pre-glaze does set up some other options, and this is kind of one of those options that it does set up here, where we can maybe go ahead and just try and do a little something different with the approach, and not always necessarily be mixing with that pre-glaze. So let's see. Oh yeah, there's one of those, nice and beat up the way we like it. Let's see if we can. Just looking for another one of my filbert brushes here. There's another one. Radiant. Nope, that's not radiant yellow. That is our Hansa yellow. And we'll try to throw a little something there on the unicorn's mane and tail. Now these guys, we're going to have to do those, so we can't really do those with the dry brushy stuff. I'm going to need me some more of that fast matte out there, I see. Fine, a little bit more there, a little more there. And now I'm just going to start throwing some of this stuff out there, then we'll come back with some more glazy stuff there. There's our yellow there, a little bit of the... okay, fine, I'll throw some of the radiant green in there. There's some opacity. And let me see what we can do on these little guys here. And I don't mind that purple is there because, well, it would be reflecting that. If these are supposed to be metal, they should probably be reflecting that violet or whatever, so it's all good. It's doing what it's supposed to. . Maybe we will just throw a little bit of that over here. Now this, these couple of guys, they are just a little something. 43 minutes ago, not only did this not have any color on it, I didn't really even know what colors I wanted to do. So I had no idea what was going to be on this thing until the paint started to fly. Then, of course, with the oils, you can make lots of magical adjustments, so I was not really worried at all. Didn't matter to me. I knew I was going to be able to change stuff around. Get a little bit of that here, a little bit of that over here. That is also her hair. We're also going to need to get something there on the on that. Do we go with more of a violet on that, or do we go with more of a magenta? No, I'll try to do some violet on. Let me see if I can do that here. And see if we can use our radiant violet and our not Egyptian violet. I might just have to do that more as a pin line wash in there. Yeah, that's more what I had to do. Let's get to our fox. Again, we've been at this for not even an hour. Not even an hour so far. So yeah, a Grand Oracle, the Severus Blue, boy, that's something I haven't used that in quite some time. So it's kind of neat to see that again. That's what I wanted to use, the Radiant Blue. Now let's get our horsey a little lighter here. Do I clean up that one to use as a blending brush, or do we just try to use this one here? Grand Oracle, I think every single one is Make It Epic. So the bunnies and the foxes, the oxalis and the roses, yeah, they're all Make It Epic. Actually, Grand Oracle, I still have not found. I couldn't find any decent Eldar basing bits. I could find Eldar terrain. I could find that, but I couldn't actually find any decent Eldar basing bits out there for printing. So Doji, the Severus Blue is basically about the same as the Cobalt Teal. Of course, we'll have a color chart like this soon for the Cobalt Teal, but there's your Severus Blue right there. Blades, yeah, it was. It's kind of funny because I thought of that obviously before this reference here that I found. I was then I thought, man, am I gonna really be able to find a reference that kind of matches this? And especially this one, well, the one on the left and even this one on the right really did actually kind of match what I was trying to do pretty darn closely. It was spooky. It was very spooky, actually. I wasn't expecting it to really match quite so closely. So, Ira, thank you so much for doing the gift sub there. We'll get one more little hype train going on here. 1 second. Just going to keep doing this while we're thinking about it here. I'm also going to get the... we'll just get that. We're probably going to do some glazy stuff over that anyways. Let's not forget the ears, because usually you end up forgetting those. So again, that's where we're going to do this here first. Maybe in around the bunny's eyes here too, I guess. I'm going to just throw that darker stuff in there. Now let me see if I can go back to this for also another little bit of a pin line washy type thing there for that hair. Same down there. Do these guys again, just to taking the letting the reflected light do its thing, the reflected color do its thing. Well, Muse's Touch here's hoping that it all gets done for you and not too stressful. So everybody again, please check out what Night Whisper just shared. And then, of course, give Night Whisper a follow. Now, here's some phthalo green there. Chuck a little bit more of that in there. Well, I think we're going to go with even more of a yellowish green up there, possibly. I do need to start thinking about some darker stuff, though. Where's my quinacridone magenta? Now, there's a really powerful color. And, oh, and Doji, this is the other thing, too, is I didn't have to worry about... quinacridone magenta has no staining property. So that's another thing, Doji, that I've kind of contemplated with this as well. Okay, what if you want to use colors like that? They just have zero staining power. Well, you really don't want to use them as a pre-glaze. But with this approach, you don't necessarily have to use them that way.
So say we all.
And it just gives you, again, some more different options. Thank you so much, Blades. Appreciate the sub there. And see you later there, Uber Yeti. Thank you so much for being here. So Landrest, now, did you print? You didn't print out 45 of those little cavalry holders there, because that's how many cav you got, right? I think it is 45, or was it 35? I know there was it was either 45 or 35. I'm thinking it's 45. So again, thank you so much, Blades. Appreciate the gift sub there. Thank you very much. Looked like there was lots of yummy foods, too, on the trip. Val Ferris, so remember I was talking about using the air fryer to do some bacon? Well, not only did it do the bacon way better than I've ever seen the bacon done before, that the mess was, well, there really was no mess. It was just the usual kind of thing to clean up after using the slow cooker, or the air fryer. So yet another thing that the air fryer can do, and it does that very well. Yeah, so well, that's the Ultra Lance, right? Or is that the Super Lance, or is that the Uber Lance? What do you want to call that one? We need to call that formation something. And I think we'll just call it the Uber Lance formation. Let me see if I can do a little bit of this violet up here. Taking that, I'm gonna do a little bit of some glazy stuff right there. I think that's, yeah, it's gonna have to be some gold right there. Whoa, we don't want a pinline wash here. Don't need a pinline wash over there. Okay. You see if we can start getting, and then even lighter violet color here. Let me get that radiant violet here. Mixing that with our violet. Hey, Boomits, how you doing? Welcome back. I hope that your Sunday was a good one. And again, happy Tuesday or happy Monday / Tuesday. It is still Monday here for a little bit. We still have a little bit of Monday left to go here. 15 minutes looks like. Let me see if I can get some of my, yeah, there we go. So boom, it's the oils really making this easy, that's for sure. There we go, Gigolance. So I just have to remind me of that. Landrest, I'll forget the Gigolance formation. Very different from the giggle lance. That's something different. So and we can still go white on the horse here. Can still do that, right? That was still just radiant blue. We haven't actually used any white on the horsey yet. Well, or anywhere for that matter. I mean, it's mixed in with stuff, but no actual white anywhere until now. We're just now getting into that. But again, anytime anybody's kind of, what do I want to do for colors or something, just do this like I did with the AI stuff. I typed in, let's see, it was Fae Enchantress riding a unicorn with fox and rabbits nearby, or yeah, with running alongside. That's all I typed in. And it actually gave me, of the 4 images, 3 of them were really good. I mean, the 4th one wasn't bad. It was a little bit more stylized, I guess. The other ones had a little bit more going for them. But they all gave me really good ideas as far as color schemes go. Also, didn't have to look up reference pictures of foxes either. Hey there, Moonlight Minis. Nice to see you again. Everybody, please give Moonlight Minis a follow. Also, please check out Moonlight Minis Etsy page and my mini factory. So Moonlight Minis, you would have loved seeing the beginning of this one right here. Now, what's going to be interesting on this cloak, actually, don't be surprised if in general there's no contrast. Yep. It's like there is Zippo shading on there. Look at that. It's like it's primed again. It's like the only thing we painted is a little tiny bit on the horse and maybe something on the fox, and she is just primer. All of these colors are essentially darn near the same value. Have we not talked about contrast is more than just light versus dark? Well, that is why Armored Wolf made these stickers. Speaking of Adepticon, he's got a dozen of them that'll be there. This is one of them. So again, at Adepta, he also has them on his Etsy page too. So again, everybody please check out Armored Wolf's Etsy page for all the fabulous dice bags. They are absolutely incredible, of course. So please go check those out. Let's get some work on the flowers here. So Moonlight Minis, if you want to share your Insta or your My Mini Factory and such, please go ahead, do that. Okay, there we go. There's some more of our white in there. Fine, maybe we will put some of this on this here bunny. And all of these are 3D printed basing bits from Make It Epic Basing. Okay, we'll kind of be going a little bit back and forth with our bunnies there. Kind of doing, I guess, a little bit of a cottontail type of a thing here. I forget if I think the foxes and the bunnies are both separate. So everybody please check out the link that Moonlight Minis just shared and go check out all the fabulous miniatures there. We have some that we have printed, actually a whole bunch of them, for painting here. And well, you'll don't be surprised if you see a sort of a little bit of a color scheme like this on some of them too. Let's do the blending brush action there. Let's see if we can get something lighter here for the nose. Also around the eyes here. I'm just going to do this real quick. We'll come back with some dark around those. Yeah, you know what? We should get a little light over there too. So let's see, 1 hour and 11 minutes ago, Again, no paint on this at all. This was a blank canvas miniature. Much to Landrast's sadness, it is no longer a blank canvas miniature. Now it has been soiled by all those nasty colors. I mean, who knows? Maybe the fox could have been pink or something like that. But now that he's painted like this, now he's kind of stuck being like a regular fox. Let me look at let me look at my other reference here real quick. What does it show for the tails on the foxes there? Alright, I guess it does show that. Alright, we'll do the white here on the end of the tail then. Fine, we can do that. Because the oils cover, remember that, the lighter oils, they're, for the most part, they're opaque. So they're going to cover like that. Here, let's not have... Well, our rose is going to change a little bit there. That's okay. So Lantras, the giant Fae beast. You thought that casket of souls was going to take up a lot of paint. Oh my gosh, that Fae beast was going to take up a ton of paint. Well, whatever the Fae critter was. Now, again, this is a little bit more of just the quinacridone here. Also, a little bit of the perline red in there. So see how it's starting to change change this up too? Little bit of a change there. Before we get to some of our lighter stuff. Get some of that down in here too. Let me see. Here's some of this. Should I throw some of that up here? Ooh, okay, maybe over here. I would like to let some of the lighter stuff get in here and do some of the talking. I will just throw a little bit of the quinacridone. Again, that's what these do right here. A little more over there too. So there's again the quinacridone magenta and some of the perline red together. That warms that up a little bit, makes it almost ramps up the intensity even more. Give me a little bit of that reflecting into the goes. Oh, that needs to also be more of a phthalo green there. So that's supposed to be the unicorn's horn there, Bithron. Such as it is. Now there was two things here that were off of the headdress. Those, well, one of them broke off, and I just said, the heck with this. I'll bet you the other one is going to eventually. So I just preemptively broke it off. And just said, yeah, it doesn't have to be there. I just said, no, we'll just get rid of that now. And not have to deal with it. Now, let me see if I can do a little bit of a skin tone here. Let me grab some of this. Some of that. That stupid horn is definitely in the way when it comes to getting to the face here. We need to take that off of all of the kind of dingier colors there. And get some of this on the hand. Other hand. And that all just mixed together there. So it is definitely a horn, that's for sure. And that's not a doubt. It does have a feather look to it. Not sure why they made it curved like that, but definitely is a horn and not a feather. Because once you see the texture of it, you can say, yep, that is supposed to be a horn there. Yeah, let's lighten this up a little bit too down here. Okay. It's one of the few times I actually had a chance to see what the sculpt was like just on my mini factory. Right, and it's in its render form instead of only as a print, where sometimes it can be a little more difficult to figure out what the heck is going on. Now, let's get some more of the fast map white out here. Let's do that. Yeah, land dress sometimes. Well, so land dress. I guess I could take my hair dryer to it. We could straighten it out. It would be about this long. I think we straighten that out. Be out to about here, right, Landra? It would be a lansicorn. Yeah, Landra. If we straighten that thing out, it would be so long. It would be a lansicorn instead of a unicorn. That would be one of the most feared units in the game. It gets an extra +1 to damage rolls because it's a lansicorn. Let me get this piece of fuzz off of here. See how much lighter I can go with that? Now, what's fun, Lantris, is sometimes is actually after the figure's been painted, actually going back in there with the hair dryer, and then like bending parts and moving them around, even when they're all painted already. I'm gonna have to get me some of the we'll get some of our red too into this. So the perline red, we'll mix that in. Kind of get some rosy stuff going on the cheeks there too. Now, also, Bithron, have you tried painting any of your tiles where you made the parks, the grass there? Because I know you were going to try and paint those up. I wasn't sure if you tried doing that yet. Let me try getting a little bit more on my light there. Like so. We got we'll just say that's gold right there, I guess. You notice that we switched over to the to this brush right here because we don't need to quite be doing we don't need the micro filbert right now. And actually, that is also skin tone there. All right, there's my perline red that is going to get into the cheeks there so that they are also not getting quite as much of the green from the feather headdress here. A little more. So again, at 1 hour, 20 minutes in. That's it. Not even 90 minutes in. Okay, just now trying to get a little bit of a pinkishness there. Then we'll let that set for a little bit. Let's see what we can do over here for the horsey's eyeballs there. Oh, okay. Yeah, first, no, let me do this. Let me get that radiant blue there. There's actually more than I thought that is showing up there. So we'll do that here. Let me just get the Rest of that. Extend that white a little bit, get with the blue. Alright, let's give this another go around here. Some of the Van Dyke brown, a little bit of our Mars black. Hey there, Deuce. Nice to see you again. So, Deuce, I hope that you're doing well. Happy Monday/Tuesday. You know, I'm just gonna we'll just go all in with the dark there, and we'll come back to that leader. Let's get some dark around the edge of this guy here. That little piece of the bridle there. So, Deuce, hopefully your week is off to a good start. Hopefully it's off to a good start for everybody. Sometimes weeks don't always begin quite the way we'd like them to. Prime Painter, how you doing? Nice to see you. So a lot of the brushes that we use here, even some of our filberts, let's spin it around so you can see it. So there you go. So the Princeton Velvet Touch. You can get them in a whole bunch of different art stores. I get them from dickblick.com online. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of other painting sites have them. I believe Gerstecker has them. I'm sure Jackson's Art has them in the UK. And then, of course, I think Michaels has those too. Now, remember, Dick Blick still has... I think their winter sale is still going on. I'm not sure, but I think it still is. So, yeah, Deuce, let's see, what do we call that? 100 hours or 1? No, 300 hours or 1? Yeah, that's that. And everybody has to guess how many hours spent. Hey, Peace Talker, nice to see you again. So yeah, Prime Painter, you can get the Velvet Touch. Again, from Dick Blick. They're generally somewhere between $5, $5.30 a piece. I don't use sable brushes. They are synthetics like all my other ones. You know what? How's about we take some of this and some of this, and we get something a little bit more towards the orange here. No, I need some of my Indian yellow into that too. Now, that is the same orange. That was one of the very first things we did to this. So again, this was part 3. We just posted this to the Patreon page, and that you can see all the oranges that we added there. It's just the same thing we did on our chariots. Look at here, and see again that reflective. That is reflecting into the chariot. There's even the green reflects over there, or under the tail, sorry. It was just what we did with our chariots. So the sable brushes are very wimpy. Now you can't, again, these are longer bristles like this. They're stiffer. So this brush costs about 1/3 of what a sable brush does. It will last about 3 times as long. It can do a whole lot more. And that's just that's some math right there. So you're spending $5 instead of somewhere between 12 to 20, and it will last you about again 3 times as long because the bristles are just more robust than a sable brush. And I can also for things like our freehand and such, it makes it very much easier to be able to do stuff like that. Also, here's our other one right here. So again, all those freehand patterns, they're done with the liner brush. So this is the 18-0, and remember, you want to get the liner brush. The short refers to the handle, not the bristles. We don't want the short little bristles there because, again, those, these like half the length. This thing died in a fraction of the time. So yeah, you definitely want to get the liner brush. I know most people generally tend to associate those, say, with watercolors. That would be one reason why I'm very familiar with them, because, well, I did watercolors for many, many years. I do want to shift that over towards gold, so I'm going to let some of the orange get there too. This thing as well, we're just going to shift that over. Also, this stuff here, we need a little something on that. Our foxy fox could also use, let's get a little something like this Hansa yellow in there. That's slightly opaque. Now we start to put some light on Mr. Fox over here. Let's get going on him. And again, with the oils, hashtag no layers. You can see that that is much lighter than what was there. And remember, this was just a bunch of dry brush stuff there. All that mixed together in a matter of seconds, and we can still do some more there. However, strategery, we want to wait, right? We want to let that stuff set for as much as possible before we go back in there and fool around again. That is fine, because we got a ton of stuff we can do elsewhere here. So again, the filbert brushes, and well, lots and lots of craft brushes. I mean, this craft brushes of all sizes. I mean, here's another one right here, and here, these are from Royal Langnickel. These are from Hobby Lobby over here. You can see all the lovely features. You got texture paste in there. You got paint all over. There's glue on there. And again, when they get beat up enough, then we actually we slice that brush and we turn it into a spatter brush. Oh, yeah, let's get this one out of here. Yeah, Deuce, it's, well, it's sort of like, who's going to have more fun with explosives, the explosive expert, or somebody that just, they're just they think they just got to light a match, right? We know how to have fun with those brushes. They work very, very well with the oils. I got to tell you, Deuce. There is. So see how he's starting to get a little bit more orange there? So, Deuce, what kind of a big, do you have any mega projects underway right now? Here, they've got a little bit more of the yellow in there now, but still some of that orange, so it's kind of semi-opaque here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is he? He's around here. So, there he is. There he is. So there you go. There's the ultimate liner. Well, that's the ultimate craft brush right there. There it is. Wappelius Spell Brush has the ultimate craft brush. It even glows, right? Oh, here's another example of the. Oh, look, it's the same fox and bunny. So again, these are all Make It Epic basing bits right there. And now, Deuce, do you have any? If you have any pictures of that, like in an Insta, Discord, or whatever, you want to share those, go ahead. I don't know if you've even had a chance to share those, but yeah, you want to share them? Go ahead. Oh, gee whiz, we didn't get any of the orange. There we go. Just wondering why he seemed a little unusual, because we just didn't get any of the orange down there. Now we're starting to feel that a little bit. And then we'll we'll leave him alone for a while. We'll work on maybe on our bunnies. There's just a whole bunch of places we can go to instead of just hammering away at the same part over and over again. Do a little bit in an area and then move on to somewhere else. And that's what we're going to do. We're just going to leave that alone, and we're going to actually take this. So if the color goes somewhere, it must go everywhere, right? And I'm going to put that up here now. Something like that. Yeah, Deuce, I still remember the original Dark Angels. And I just keep thinking of what printers could do then and what they do now, right? And hopefully, hopefully you don't wax so philosophical like, man, oh man, if I only had, this back when I was doing this particular project. Now this is a bit more of a lemony yellow here. Let's see what we can do with this here. And again, caress the brush. Do not crush the brush. And now we can get in here again with that liner brush. It's got the stiffness in the bristles that we're looking for. Get this up here. A little over there. Deuce, that I keep thinking of those. I know that was years ago. And I just keep thinking of how the technology has changed so much since then. Well, the technology has probably changed a whole lot since last week. Let me see what we can do here for this. Okay, I need a little bit of the lemon yellow out there. I can come back now on the eye. Might even get a little bit of that here on the mane. Guess also on that thing too. Okay. The tail. Well, that should be very fun. Dude, that should be really fun. Get a little bit of our yellow in here. Not a ton. Where are we at? So 1 hour 30, so 94 minutes ago. This had no paint on it at all. And I also, and 100 minutes ago, I had no idea what colors I was even going to do on this thing. I literally had no idea. It all just kind of happened. That's the nifty thing about the oils. Let's say you do something, you say, oh, I don't like that color. Well, it's real easy to change. Oh yeah, on this thing here, just as I was going to sit down to do all of the blues right on the skin, I realized that was a piece of armor there. That was all painted this blue. And in a few seconds, we had some armor colors there. Let me get a little more of my lighter yellow out there. And let me see if I can push this over that away a little bit. This is the other thing that a sable cannot do. I'm literally pushing the brush this way. I'm shoving it that direction. That is something that would make your average sable brush just kind of suck on its thumb and cry for its mommy. So that is again why we don't use the wimpy brushes, right? We don't want wimpy. No wimpy. We want hefty brushes, just like the TV commercial, which probably very few people actually remember. The old hefty bag commercial. I'm going to say that is also another one of the it actually is over here. You know what? I was going to do this too, so that's no big deal. I was going to try and create a little bit of a yellowish green here on the feathers there. Throw a little bit of this light there too. Get my light here, over here. On these guys, it will also have to get a little bit of a horizon line on some of these too. over here, yeah. And you see how that kind of wraps around and down. That that kind of gives it that conical shape. You see, and there's his eyes over there. Again, well, not really sure exactly what we want to do with all the bunnies. Maybe I'll put a little bit of fur texture on him too. A little something there on the... Nope. Maybe let's change that back. That's my blending brush there. And see if we can tone down some of that fur texture there. A little bit. So get some green in the leaves too. Now this is, oh, here it is. Let me see if I can get some of the paint out of this brush here. We'll just use our paper towel here. And I'm going to use this as a micro blending brush here before we come back with our liner brush again to do a little more, yeah, some lighter stuff here. Whoops, that's not the liner brush. There it is. I'm gonna get some of the yellow out of there. And even lighter skin tone now. Still not white, but definitely lighter. I think that also is supposed to be, yeah, part of the forehead there. See if I can get that cheek a little lighter too. No, I'm gonna do that. Do the lip again. We'll do that with our quinacridone perline red mix here. Let's restore that upper lip. The stuff with the horse is kind of in the way a little bit there. Let me see here. Okay. Put this down here. Lighter on the knuckles there. And let me throw some of that over here on this hand. Nope, still not quite. Right there, I'm just gonna have to separate that too, just with some darker stuff. Same there. Trying to get some light on the inside of the hand here, on the palm. Ah, finally. Also on the fingers. I'm going to go back to the Radiant Violet and our regular violet here. Because that never really did get very light there. So a little bit of that on that headdress, crown, whatever it is. know what? I like the idea of the blue there, but I think I am going to change it more to the violet. Where's that blending brush again? Again, see, one layer. If you want to call it a layer, it was one layer, not 3 or 4 or 12, just one layer. That's it. Yeah, just a little craft brush here, just to be able to take that and blend it. That's all we need. I'm gonna take the phthalo here. We haven't really comboed that up with the Indian yellow yet, so that is gonna warm that up big time. Okay. Phthalo green again. This is a deeper phthalo green now with also some of our... Oh yeah, that's a very intense green right there. Don't really need stuff like sap green and all those other ones because we can really make all that stuff just with what we have here. So we're just kind of darkening that up a little. Now we'll take the radiant green here. Actually, maybe we'll mix it with some of our lemony yellow color there. It's a highly technical painting term, lemony yellow. That's it. So we can still go a little lighter than that. So yeah, that hashtag no layers, that's been around kind of since the get-go, hasn't it? It's a little bit scary to think that the 4th stream anniversary is not all that far away. It's April 13th of all days. Well, that's not necessarily the official day. That's we did do some streams in March, but I think that was when the affiliate thing was reached, so we just kind of call that the day. A little bit of our light amber, and we'll get some of that lighter green up there too. It just adds only dark, not enough of the contrast there. And you know what? That also takes some of there we go, some of our... Nope, still not quite light. I'm gonna make it a little lighter here. There we are. Also gotta come back over here. Make that a little bit also lighter. Okay, starting to like what's going on there a little bit more. Let me see if I get something light for the eyes there. So Piece Taker, there's a bunch of different things. There was some Van Dyke brown glaze that went on there. There's some of the Indian red, a little bit of the asphaltum. Then there was some of the Terra Rosa mixed with the Naphthol Scarlet. Then there was a little bit of the Hansa Yellow with the Naphthol Scarlet. And yeah, then we'll be coming back in with some of our darker stuff there too. Here, let me get to my lightest stuff on maybe the eyes here too. There we go. So yeah, there's definitely some of the Naphthol Scarlet in there. Essentially a nice kind of a semi-opaque orange color. just trying to... There, we have finally got something in the eye there. See if I can do this on the other eye. Like that. Maybe a couple more lights on the hand here. See if I can get some light on that cheekbone up there. Also, this one over here, trying not to snap the bunny or the fox off of the base. Yeah, we're kind of leaving those guys alone for a little while here. So I actually now have, remember that Puro Orange or Puro Scarlet where I was sent watercolors instead of oil paints? Well, we have genuine oil paints coming this way. Also hoping that doesn't show up tomorrow too. Let's see if I get my... It's not... Well, that's just gonna come off of there anyways. We'll just paint that back. Get some dark on there. Get the... a little bit more of the lower lip there. So Scarlet Puro, and it's the Richardson version. It's the Richardson version, I think. At least I think it is. That's what's supposed to be coming this way. That's right. We have to do something with this. Do I want to try and... Fine, we'll take a little bit of this and put that on here because we are going to be lightening up our green right here. Also, blending brush time. Once again, just let that get blended. Yeah, no layers there. Just going to chunk that on there. Going to grab this. Once again, then just let that kind of do its blending there. Let me take a little bit of the Radiant Green and our... I'm going to take a little bit of the... yeah, some of our Cobalt Teal. We're going to throw that in there too. Remember, all this, we just let that do its own little blending and mixing there initially. Guess I'm gonna get me some of the white into that, along with the Radiant Green. Now, Deuce, which brands were there? Was that Windsor Newton or Gamlin or Williamsburg? Ah, that's cool there, Bithron. Now, I guess what would you kind of try and get as many of those done as you can during the week here, so that maybe you can do some more play testing with them over the weekend. So in Golden and in Liquitex. Alright, we're going to throw our little bit of light on that. Make that just a smidge lighter there. And a little bit of that Cobalt Teal work its way onto that lighter color. And we'll throw some of that into here. Oh, that'd be good to bits around, be like, wow, gee whiz. That'd be fantastic. And again, everybody, please be sure to visit Moonlight Minis, my mini factory, and their Etsy page. Again, if you don't have a 3D printer, that is no big deal. They can print the miniature out for you. So after making this dark, I'm kind of taking the cobalt teal, and we're just going to use some of that here on the reins, like that. You can see how opaque that is. That is very much opaque. So it's a Series 6. Yeah, that is Doomsday for the wallet. I guess, well, I don't know what golden acrylics are as far as the super sale on Dick Blick. Again, not all the colors are on sale equally. Some are on sale more than others. I mean, some are up to 60 some odd % off. Let me get some of this lighter stuff here to, again, put on this, on the reins here. Then we're just going to have to leave that go. Actually, I'm going to have to leave it go right now. There's just, that's going to get too... Yep, that's going to get too much paint on there. So we just got to say, alright, not going to work on that anymore. Let's go somewhere else. Plenty of other places we can work. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, the cadmium stuff, they always, and they do that on the titaniums. There's a couple cobalts, they do it too, I'm pretty sure. There's a few colors they do that kind of stuff too. Okay, that might have been a little lighter than I wanted, but not a problem, because somewhere over here I've got me a blending brush. That's awful big, but we're going to use it anyway. Again, just to take that and push that around. So again, you see one brush stroke, basically, that was it. That is something that we will have to eventually figure out how to do, so that I could, well, I want to make those Eldar basing bits, right? It would be nice to just be able to, well, make them and then print them. But that's something that's got to wait a while. That's going to wait a little while. And I think this one doesn't have quite so much of the paint on there, so yeah, I can do a little bit more on this side here. Now, let's just let that stuff sit there. Let's mess around with this. We're going to get our... But I think the last time I had a chance to use the quinacridone magenta was when I was doing my Harad stuff. It might have been the last time. Either that or one of our party skinks. Okay. Nope. Later, more of the radiant violet. Let's see what that's going to do. It can still go a little lighter than that, but let me get some of that over here first. Some of these folds under his head there, on his neck. I'm going to also do a little bit more of the magenta there, because we have this teal color right next to it. And I might actually go back with some darks in here, because as I do this, it doesn't, if it doesn't make a big difference, that means, well, maybe we just need to get some darks in here. When in doubt, make things darker. That's also in the book of Wappel. So yeah, here we got a little bit of the quinacridone magenta and the perline red mixing together. I was trying to get things set up for the next couple of army painting series for the Patreon page. I will be printing out, I thought I had more of the Howling Banshees printed out. I think I do, just don't know where they are, so I'm going to print those again. I have some of them. I need at least 2 more. I'm going to try and get that a little spicier there. Yep, that's what it needed. A little spicier along here. Moonlight Minis, it sort of depends. It can be several, that's for sure. Even these, as long as they last, I can tear through those fast. The craft brushes tend to get wiped out pretty quickly, but then they're a dime a dozen. The filbert brushes, they also they start to get beat up pretty quickly too. It's just kind of par for the course. It also depends what kind of stuff we're painting. If it's a little bit more terrain oriented, that's going to be different. Terrain is, in some ways, sometimes it's easier on the brush. Certain types of basing are really rough on brushes. Yeah, certain types of basing really do a number on brushes. Grand Oracle, I don't know. One of them is from a source. Remember Dano? He sent me some of those files, so I'd have to ask him where they came from. And then the other one, as always, I'm just going to have to go back and look and see who the sculptor was, and I'll mention that in the video. Pretty much figure if it's not Make It Epic or one of my typical Lord of the Rings sculptors or something like that, or maybe Zabevka, whatever. I don't remember the name. So that is something that I will find out when it comes time to film the Howling Banshees episode. So Grand Oracle. Oh, well, yeah, you can. So you can see, right, that is evidence, because these used to all be full right here. And that's not all of them. There's more elsewhere. And that's just the liner brushes. So very envious there, Arid. So Arid, if you want to share your Pinstagram links again, please go ahead. Where's my blending brush here? I'm just going to use my paper towel. A little tap, tap, tap there. And we'll get a little bit more of our light on here, over there. Grand Oracle, I think he has not just a bunch of Elder stuff, but I think in general 40k type stuff. So yeah, now if I only get a few of them, then it's going to be more like the way you get them there, Grand Oracle. So yeah, if I just get one brush or something like that, because, well, you know how it is. You know, one more brush will get you to the $60 for free shipping or something like that. So I have to be willing to accept that one might be a little bit on the vulnerable side. You know what? I need to get me some more fast matte white out here. Just gonna need some here. So everybody please check out the link that Irid just shared. Also please give Irid a follow. It's gonna chuck you right over there because reasons. I think Grand Oracle, those might have also been, well, as you can imagine, they were probably coordinated around a sale or something. There must have been, sometimes, right, there'll be more like $4.50 or something. And then that's when I'll say, okay, it's time to get 10 of them, or 12. Now, I haven't really done anything on the cloak here since the beginning, so we're gonna start to get a little bit more of our light going in here too. Like so. Blending brush. Again. And that, yeah, see that little bit right there. All it is some of the fast matte white mixed with that quinacridone magenta. That's all it is. Let me see if we can get some of that up here too. That was a little, that went a little wonky. Not a problem because we got this. Makes that all better. Again, we try it again here, and that is more like it. Let that get blended. Right? Why? Again, right, dudes? Why screw around with a whole bunch of layers when we could just do something like this? There. Oh, thanks, Armored Wolf, for posting a link to the GoFundMe campaign. That is still up and running. I think I've actually forgotten to share that in the last few Instagram posts. But that is still going. Here, let's do some of this here. And we could still go lighter than this. We can still go lighter than this, but I want to wait and see how everything else plays out with the, even some of our teal out there. Because we want to get our, not just our cobalt teal, but maybe cobalt teal, a little bit of our lighter color mixed in too. Little touch more of the fast matte there, and I might even try to lighten this up a little bit down in there. Take my blending brush. So again, that transition there, that's not airbrush thing. Right, Grand Oracle, how many times folks ask, well, can I use airbrush with the oils? And we say, well, why would you want to do that? There's a whole bunch of a mess right there. A lot to clean up. Would not really get you very much, especially not something you couldn't already do a lot easier or better with our little hairy sticks, right? Our wee little hairy sticks. Let me get some of my light on here. There too, and right across that full blending brush. Little tap, tap, tap there. Now, Grand Oracle, I'm kind of curious. I think you said that they rate the Perline Crimson kind of a mid-range as far as its drying, and I think the Cobalt Teal also the same sort of mid, not certainly not Egyptian Violet or Indian Yellow range. You know what? Let me back into some of that. Well, look at that. Look at that. That is precision brushwork right there. That is total precision brushwork. Well, it really is, because see we do this. And yeah, why would I want an airbrush for that when I would just hit this and all this other stuff too? Even all of the things aside, it's just well, you would have to mask things off and do all this other stuff that well, I don't have to do here at all. And I'm going to try and lighten up these guys here a little bit. Blending brush. No gentle little layering up, right? Just like, here, let's go strong. You go strong to the hoop. You don't bring that weak stuff into this, down this lane. You will get a hard foul, that's for sure. You do not come close to this basket with that weak stuff. Let me get that blending brush. And we'll do a little bit over there. Now, let's see if I can retreat a little bit further, because I see some more folds over here. Blending brush again. That doesn't have much of a, there we go. Just a little something there. A little something there. And this is now set up here, so I can start to fool around with this a little bit more. That's got to go all the way. There we go. Alright, and now let me... no, that's a blending brush there. I'm going to take some of my dirty little violet here. Maybe mix some of the blue with it. There we go. Get that down in here in the center of our... Is that the only... No, this also has flowers over here. Might do that a little darker-ish. There. Again, just a little bit of a semi-pin line wash. That's all it takes. Hey, Scrap Metal Dragon, how you doing? So it sounds like Scrap Metal Dragon has maybe sold off a few organs to be able to acquire some critical additions to the armies. So great to see you again there, Scrap Metal Dragon. Is that gonna... Ooh, that is too light, so I'm gonna come back a little bit of the Mars Black into that and just tone that down a little. Here, I'm gonna get a little dark on that bunny, and now let's see if we can... you know what? Wow, that... Actually, Grand Oracle, I don't know if we've looked up the drying time of the Mars color, specifically the Mars Yellow Deep, because that one actually seems to have a pretty long drying time, which is kind of strange. I don't usually think of the Mars colors as having a long drying time. Trying to get a little bit something lighter on this bunny over here. Not too light. I'm gonna stick with the Radiant Violet as the highlight color there. Why don't we do that? And we'll try and get a touch of that over here on this bunny, especially on his face there. That's a little bit on the darker side. Ah, that's better. Probably his chest needs to be a little lighter. I guess that it's going to get almost a little bit of a pinkish color now. Trying to go even lighter here onto some of the details on his face. You know what? Is just make that a little lighter too. There's my blending brush. Let me see. Let's use something like this. Oh, that's right. I remember people gave me pieces of a Bane blade, and we did a massive conversion of it for our what was that? Oh, Inquisitor. Yeah, the Inquisitor role-playing game. Yeah, so we created a rather hilarious vehicle. People couldn't understand that it was a conversion for an RPG group. It was not meant for a game of 40K, but boy oh boy, couldn't get folks to understand that. That is on the blog, actually. Alright, so yeah, Mr. Bunny here, he's starting to stand out a little bit. Let's see if we can do some of that over here. His little nose. His little face. So you should probably, again, get a little something more around his eyes here. Blending brush in case that just gets too much. So yeah, Denethor was the old 54 mil, but we just used that. It was how the group got around because it had wings. It was a flying Bane blade. And then you know the whatever the big missile launcher thing is that was on top of some of the older Titans or whatever. Yeah, there was one of those on the top of it. It also had a putting green on the back of it. It had a wine cellar. Like I said, it was meant as much for humor as for anything else. Oh yeah, here this little bunny needs some. He needs some lighter stuff on him too. So that was the old Inquisitor game. That was a very interesting group. There's that blending brush. There you are. Again, I'm just gonna touch a little light right there, take this blending brush, and then we push all that around. Oh, that's fun, Scrap Metal Dragon. Sounds like you have an awful lot to keep you busy there. That should most definitely keep you out of trouble and mischief and strife. Blending brush again. Now the other thing too we have to factor in, there's going to be a lot of shrubbery around them, so some of the bunnies will almost be kind of like they're hiding in it or emerging from it. Now, yeah, surface tension, I wanted to use these bunnies to try and make a Radagast sleigh. But unfortunately, this is really, I would just have to have a bunch of him. Well, this one would work too. I'm not so sure any of the other ones would work for the Radagast sleigh. But I'm sure I can find some, we have the Make It Epic ones. I'm sure we could find bunnies somewhere else too. Almost there with this bunny. I'll also have to get some of the dark in their eyes as well. Kind of just working with some of the lighter stuff here. We also have to get some of the dark in her eyes. We can maybe try doing that here real quick. Indigo maybe. Let's see what happens with this. Oh yeah, that's right, surface tension. I'll go back through the message stream there and see we can get those. All right, trying to get the. It's a little bit made that a little more narrower than I wanted. Might have to. Yeah, I think I'm gonna come back and maybe. Well, let's see what happens first. First, we'll do this. Yeah, maybe I will come back and just lighten it up a tiny smidge there. Alright, we'll see you later there, Night Whisperer. Thank you so much for being here. Night Whisperer, if you want to share your stuff one more time in the chat there, please go ahead. So yeah, surface tension, as soon as you mention it, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I think I got hung up with all the Tomb King stuff. And like I said, that one is printed out now, so that's good to go. I just have to get him put together. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to get a little bit of the light over here. I'm going to use some of the paint that's going on her. Just going to get rid of some of it first over here, though. Like so. Also on his ears there. A little more there. Also around his neck and his shoulders. So everybody please check out the link that Night Whisperer just shared. But yeah, I did think that there were more of the kind of leaping bunny type sculpts, but there's really just those two. And that's kind of it. Alright, I'm going to try and make that eye a little wider again. And I'm also going to try, instead of the magenta there, I'm going to see if I can get this cobalt teal in there too. Yep. That is much better. Much better. See if I can get that going on this side over here. Yeah, this is the Fae Enchantress from Titan Forge. There is also an Enchantress, again, right? A really big critter, but you're going to use quite a bit of resin to print that out. Because it's not hollow, and I don't think you really could hollow it. I mean, even if you tried to hollow it, the areas you could hollow just wouldn't really be of benefit. It would just kind of weaken the whole structure anyways. Let me get a little bit more of the teal up there. Now, let me see if I can try this. The eye again here. Now, of course, Grand Oracle may not be quite so impressed with him. He says it's very much a harebrained sculpt. Poor little bunny sculpt there. Okay, let me try this here. I'm gonna have to approach it because we got the bunny here and the rose, and we don't want to snap those things off. At least I've got some eyebrow there. I'm going to try and move this eye over. Nope, that didn't quite go where we needed it to. Yes, no need to be hopping mad. All you gotta do is just come back in here with the oils and just make a little bit of a a bit of a change there. No, we're just gonna get some fast mat out here again, or do we have? Let's just see if we can use this. We'll do this. We will try that again. First, I'm gonna get some of that deposited elsewhere to take some of the extra or excess off of the brush. Get some on our horsey there. And we'll just try this one more time here. Now that's for sure surface tension. Let me try this. Indanthrine blue. We're gonna add a little bit of the indanthrine blue to that. Let me get the. Okay, so that is a bit more like what we wanted. Let's put this over here. So I think now we've got that. Now we're going to take our much lighter version of our cobalt teal, and we're going to see if we can separate the eyebrow and the eyelid here. There. And we'll do that here. Actually have that pass this way a little further. There we go. Alright, so that I think is more what we wanted. Blending brush, where are you? Do you have a whole bunch of stuff on there? No, I think it should still be good for doing this. I'm gonna still need to get my fast mat white out here anyways. Let's get some of this out here again. This is the stuff from Gamlin right here. That's the only fast mat color that is left. They pretty much got rid of all the other ones. Back to our white here, a little bit of our radiant green too. See if we can make some light stuff happen in here. I just needed for that to set a little bit more, and sure enough, it's now we can do this a lot easier. Denethor, they just discontinued it for whatever reason, all except for the fast mat white. Now, and there's Grand Oracle, just said the same thing. Sorry, Grand Oracle, didn't mean to repeat what you just said. It's a little bit difficult to see the chat because with where the camera is, the camera boom is actually basically right in front of where the chat is, or at least all the most recent chat stuff. Boys, surface tension, I haven't had waffles in a long time. I still need to get that waffle maker going. I do have that secondary cooking area, but haven't had a chance to do the waffles yet. I might. Oh yeah, we didn't do any of our light here for quite some time because we were waiting for that to set a little bit, weren't we? Oh, and by the way, this is we're only 3 hours into this here. Only 3 hours in. Let me see if I can't get a little bit of our latest green down here. There's that blending brush. Gotta keep that nearby. Yeah, it's the rum part is the easy part, right? Surface tension. Boy, oh boy, that was quite the shock to the system there. That was the runniest maple syrup ever. That was also the like 94 proof maple syrup. That was not quite what I thought I was going to be having. Yeah, I still got to get some more light on the bunny over there, but let me just see if I can get a little light on this part of the horsies thing. Yeah, there we are. Now let's see if we can get a little bit of light out here. So now doing this, I'm going to see if there's either a bust or something else that we can do this on. Either that or we'll just print this one out again and we'll try doing this. This same kind of color scheme here again. Yeah, so if, for whatever reason, yeah, it's weird to find syrup in the beverage section, is it not? So Bitsron, I tried to recover the first 3 waffles. Basically, the first one that just had to go in the garbage because just having your nose near it made your eyes water. So yeah, that one went in the garbage. The second one, holy smokes. The third one was somewhat salvageable. But otherwise, that was no bueno. Here, let me get some of this at some of our phthalo green. Gotta sneak in between the bunny and the fox there to do that. A little more there, and maybe even again a little bit of this green right over there. Also over there. So that is much cooler green because I got that phthalo in there. Let's see if we can put some of that up here too. Where's my blending brush? Still trying to figure out what do we want to do with this nose here. Do we want to make it lighter? I don't know, I'm going to try to make it lighter again. See what happens with that. Yeah, that would... well, you would certainly have to be over 21 to be able to consume that waffle. And you also wouldn't want to be too old either, because that could have you sort of parallel to the ground real fast. And get the light over here. Something up here on that eye. I think we need a little bit of the fur color in there. That works. Maybe some up there. Yeah, that's definitely it's definitely a waffle served at sea. That's for sure. Lighter magenta, just maybe that'll do it over here. Let me try some of this. It's been a little while since we had that. That's the quinacridone magenta and the white combined. Take that, we're going to brush that into what's already here. We'll do that over on this side too. Like this. Maybe we'll throw a little bit more of our... not sure if that works so well. Trying to get some of that magenta down here. Again, to reflect this, the color of the cloth. Blending brush again. A little bit of our lighter magenta down there, and just let that mix. As you can see, don't have to do a whole bunch of layers in that hard to reach here, and just gonna chuck that lighter stuff on there. Take this, little tap, tap, tap. Now we got something lighter there without having to struggle at it for so long. Let's see if I can just throw a little hint of something there. Now, back to that radiant violet here. Hopefully it's not going to be too close to the skin tone. Hopefully not, anyways. I'm gonna try and lighten this thing up too here a little bit. That's actually a hair over there. So, okay. There's it's got mostly the Mars yellow in it. Nice and opaque, that's for sure. See if I can't get a little more of this light on the little tiny bunny over here. I get not a lot. He is technically in shadow from this. Get the reference images down there. Those were I generated those with some AI. That's what we've been doing, right? Actually, all of our Bretonian stuff has been based off of just typing in some simple parameters into the AI and letting it spit out something at us. And again, sometimes the ideas are just kind of meh. Sometimes they're almost laughable, and sometimes they're really good. Yet you never really know what you're going to get. So yeah, instead of the captain dressed, I would just be kind of more like a chef or something like that. Ooh, you know what I'm going to try and get here? Maybe if I can get a little bit of the violet into the ears. Where's this little bunny over here? Same deal there. Okay, that was another thing that was sort of missing there. Nah, let me take some of that away. Now we're back over here to the radiant violet. Right there on the top of that sleeve. There's still some of that original blue down in there too. That's nice. That's the nifty thing about the oils. And again, there was no, not the usual pre-glaze on this, right? We did approach this very differently. Didn't do the usual pre-glaze. And that meant we could kind of almost do a pre-glaze on the fly based on, you know, what colors we were wanting here with all these crazy transitions that we did. Hey there, David Painting, how you doing? Great to see you again. I hope that you're doing well. Now, where is... Do I just want... Nah, I won't use that. I'm going to maybe use this one here. Fine. Just got to clean some of the stuff out of this here. Thanks, Dave Painting. Appreciate that. So yeah, these references down here that I just scared up an AI real quick. Boy, oh boy, that they really did the trick. Oh, I'm also trying out some new colors. Like here, we've got the this is the cobalt teal. So trying out some new stuff here. You get a little bit of that over here. Some over there, and maybe even a bigger blending brush here. Well, thanks for hanging out there, Surface Tension. Appreciate it. And thanks for reminding me about the bunnies. Because what we do, like we remember saying, we do have that Radagast figure. We just need to, well, you can always manufacture a sled of some kind. Here, I'm going to get me some of that teal over there. Where's my blending brush? Just go. So I was going to change this around a little bit. Yeah, a little tap, tap, tap there. Let those mix together. Perhaps a little bit of that over here. Maybe even some of that up there. Kind of unify that a little bit. And we'll throw just a smidge of our white into this. And ever so lightly, try and get some of that into here. Also there. Boy, oh boy, as I do this, I'm getting a little bit of that magenta on the brush, so I can only do a few of these brush strokes before I have to say, okay, that's all I can do. Lighten this up a bit too. And it's, again, got that nice, intense cobalt teal. Try and get a little bit of that over here too. So we'll just throw that on there. Take our blending brush here. Do our little tap, tap, tap there. And again, nice and smooth. It's so much easier with this type of approach. Of course, it doesn't hurt having something like the cobalt teal. Not at all. There we are. That's might be as light as I want to go with that. And you can see we can let that, again, it's mixing with all of the magenta and such there. All on its own. Thanks, David. That was the biggest, of all the surprises, that was the biggest surprise to come out of that. And this is another example. This is not the color scheme that I had in mind for this at all. This is not what I was thinking about doing. And, well, did those, all I did was I typed in Fae Enchantress riding a unicorn with rabbits and foxes running alongside, and that's what it came up with. All of these different images, and I said, oh, okay. Well, that is not quite what I was thinking about, but that's better than what I was thinking about. So I will do that. And I was really glad to have that. And they just posted this to the Patreon page. That's the last episode in this series. So it was basically a 3-part arc where we printed that and prepped it and basted it. Then we did sort of the first half of it, got it to a point where it could dry, and then we continued it in this latest episode here. That was quite a series. I need to get that last little edge over there, and then a bit more here, and then lighten you up there. I mean, even here, I don't even need to grab the blending brush. Each brush stroke that I did there was making it lighter anyway. Now that is significantly lighter along the top part of that edge, which is fine, which is what we'll do over here. There's my blending brush. And it takes so little time, right, David? It takes so little time to just, you type that in, you wait about 10 seconds, tops, more like 7 or 8 seconds, and all of a sudden it just spits out something. And you can say, nope, that is not going to work for me. Or you say, oh, wow, okay, well, I'll just roll with that. Or, like our paintings, right, where we combined a few of the references together. And we said, well, I like this from this, don't like that, but I like this from this. And this whole idea of these color transitions here, I just didn't think of that until I saw it on those reference. Like, it's getting another transition there. We get some of the. What's happened is actually it is picking up some of the magenta there, which means I have to get over here. Got to refresh that brush. There. So I'm gonna have to look and see what the big critter actually looks like that she's riding on. Again, this is from Titan Forge, and they've got obviously the unicorn version here, but then there's also her riding. It's a really big, almost a little bit like, not like a Kirin. Try and lighten this up a little bit. You know what? I'm just gonna go. The magenta just wasn't working out here, so I'm gonna push this blue color here. I'm just gonna make that change because again the magenta for whatever reason wasn't quite working so well up here. And now it's got more of the teal in it. Let's see if I can try and lighten some of that teal. Is this the, yeah, that's the brush we're looking for. Some of the fast matte white here into that cobalt teal bluish. Again, not a cheap color. Not a jet. Series 6, not a cheap color. Blending brush again. The other side here, at least the way I see those folds going. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of my blue, maybe even in the sleeve there, as it works its way down over here. Alright, a little bit more, just a straight up cobalt teal, I think. Blending brush again there. Yeah, David painting, it's as I heard people talking about, I wasn't really quite sure why the conniption there. And you heard me the whole idea of, okay, if this is back in the day when I'm doing my illustration and 2D art, I would have to draw somewhere between 5 and 15 concept drawings and spend hours and hours only to know that a third of them will be garbage, another third will be meh, and maybe 1/3 of them might have a combination of decent ideas. And then remember the story of, well, speaking of horses, so you got 5 people, you tell each one of them to come up with an image of a horse. Well, it's guaranteed that those 5 people will probably have 5 different horse breeds. Essentially the one that just comes to mind, instead of maybe a more neutral type of a thing. And of course, it's really easy to spot. It has a very distinct look to it. And well, you've seen it like with the 2D art that we've done. And thanks for sharing the link to the GoFundMe there, Armored Wolf. Again, the GoFundMe is still operational there. And we appreciate all the folks that have contributed to that. Yeah, we just needed a little something there to resurrect the... Yeah, these have a little more separation already. Those are pretty good. Try and make the lips a little more prominent here. And then we're going to try and go back into those. Maybe with this. It's a fairly light magenta there. Nope, I want to do it this way. Get a little bit of the perline red into that. Still need to make it lighter. Okay, fine. We'll do that here. Again, trying to get that lower lip. There we are. See if I can get a little bit of this on that cheekbone there. Now I need to also, I think we need to go a little lighter there on the mane, but I think I need to also get some more of my fast matte white out here too. Let's do that. Again, don't need a whole bunch of it, but alright, and maybe have a touch of the Hansa yellow in there as well. Alright, let's try to break this down, but we don't want it to turn into a pinline wash. Let me see, do I have a sponge over here? Just trying to find the best way to hang on to this without snapping off one of our bunnies or our fox. That's what's missing here. I wanted this to make it look a little bit more almost like a silk type of a thing here. There's some of our light there. And yeah, it's still only 3.5 hours. And there's a few little things going on with this, right? But can you imagine? I mean, there's people that probably would have spent 3-4 hours just on this cloak alone here, which we did not have to do, because it really just took us a matter of a few minutes just to plop those on there. And now here's we've got a lot more flow here to the mane. Let me see if I can't. Yeah, this needs to be definitely lighter down here too. For metal, we need more of a horizon line here. Yep, that does too. That's catching a little more light than I originally thought. Oh yeah, there we go. Hey Jack, nice to see you again. Happy Tuesday. I hope that you're doing well. Alright, let's do that. Yep, that needs to also be definitely lighter. Let's catch the edges of this here. That we had relatively light already. Oh yeah, this one too. I mean, that one especially, because it is... it's catching a bit of light there, so I'm going to spread that around a little. So great to see you there, Jack. I hope that your painting has also been going well too. If there's anything that you wanted to share in the chat, please go ahead. We've been having a lot of fun with a bunch of different old world stuff. Oh, and by the way, see that the blue's already reflected on that, isn't it? I'm going to do the lighter color here on the foxes, and then we'll come back in with the dark. We need to get some of the lighter stuff here for the fox's fur. Let's get his muzzle here a little lighter too. I'm glad you got some stuff in progress there. That's great. I have to get some light on the nose there too. Yeah, we need to get a little bit more of the lighter, the white there on his face. That was missing a little bit there. Let me see if I can get a touch more of this light there also on his legs a little bit. This blending brush instead. Let me see if I can get a little bit of this, light on the rabbit over here. Well, that sounds good there, Jack. A little bit of orky terrain. Orky terrain always has lots of crazy things going on, doesn't it? That's the orcs for you. Alright, Mr. Bunny over here, you're going to get lighter too. Fine, it's actually almost using my highlight for my teal on our bunny here. Just having him running around doing stuff. Maybe get a little bit more light on him there. So again, bulletin board cork. The flowers and bunnies from Make It Epic Basing. Now actually a little piece of cork bark over there. The Fae Enchantress from Titan Forge. Yeah, Jack, more rust, more better, right, for the orcs? There's almost no such thing as too much rust for the orcs. Let me see here if I can. Okay, we lightened that up a little. I'm going to see if I can't get a little bit of our sort of lighter skin color down in here. Let me lighten this up a little more. Let's get this brush down in here. I think I need to darken that upper lip again. Ah, there we are. Now again, she has these little wings or something like that kind of coming off the top of the head. One of those broke, couldn't find it, so then I just said the heck with it and snapped the other one off. Ah, thanks, Jack. Appreciate that. We were just talking about how the AI-generated references were really handy for this. And definitely made me think in a whole different direction for the color scheme. And again, what it can help you do is just maybe kind of go through the lesser ideas much faster and get to the better ideas more quickly. Because typically we think of the same stuff all the time. People have a tendency to have color palettes. And sometimes something like this can make you go, yeah, maybe not green this time. I'm gonna... Yeah, here, let me take a little bit more of the radiant violet there, because we had nothing here. This is basically just a flat thing. There was no shading on that whatsoever. See if I can scare up a little more of my shading in there, a little more highlights in there. And then of course the oils made this really easy. It just took a few seconds really to just kind of blend that all together with the big old brush. We have been using some different colors here, that's for sure. The cobalt teal, Severa's blue. We even had quinacridone magenta out here. Let me see, I'm going to try and do something here with the rose. Hopefully that is light enough, but also still warm enough to stand out from... Yes, okay, it's not going to turn too magenta there. I needed to... Wait, now the little pinline wash we did in there, that's not dry, but it did set, and that allows me to get back in here and have some fun with this again. Yeah, well, Bithran, I hope that painting goes well on him for you. Well, and all of you, I know you got to get some more of those painted up, so you can kind of continue the testing. I'll just use a blending brush in there, and there's actually another flower over here. There's the leaf, sorry. There's another leaf down in here, another one over here. And now for the oxalis flowers. Hopefully that's got enough of our... Yes, we did. We did get enough of that darker violet in there. That really does make a difference. Actually, the oxalis plants, the last couple of days, have been blooming again. It had been a little while, I have to say, and they hadn't. You never quite know. They won't, and then all of a sudden they'll do it a bunch of times, and then they won't again. Well, Bithran, hopefully those are very fun. I'm sure they will be. Again, just getting that it's not just lighter, but it's also a little bit on the warmer side. These the oxalis flowers, they're never really the same color twice, and they can even be different from one plant to the next. It's still bizarre to think that he actually did oxalis plants. That was probably one of the least flowers that I would have expected him to ever do. I'm glad that he did. Yeah, well, Mithron, I hope it works out for you and it helps kind of speed up the process and everything. And of course, you can always vary the green too. It can be a cooler green, a warmer green, just like here, right? We have cooler and warmer greens on this. All right, there we go. There's some of that is still some little strands from the hot glue, because that's how all this stuff was kind of positioned on here, was with the hot glue gun. Learned that lesson.